Hello, ladies and gents, it's me, Clayton. I just got back from seeing Mother, directed by Darren Aronofsky and starring Jennifer Lawrence and Javier Bardem, as well as Ed Harris and Michelle Pfeiffer. Now, when it comes to a movie like Mother, you can tell it's a very artistic film because even in the realm of horror films or thrillers, it's very unique in its approach. Though when it comes to the content that it has, it could be seen as either really endearing and really artistic or so freaking disturbing that you can't even watch it. For me, it's kind of a mix of both because it is very visually interesting and it has a good story to tell, but the content is so extreme and so freaking insane that sometimes it's a bit hard for me to watch. Though I'm guessing that was the intent. But let's get to the story, shall we? The story is about a young woman played by Jennifer Lawrence, who's the wife of a much older man who's a poet, played by Javier Bardem. She goes around most of her days trying to refurbish the house that they have way out in the country. That is, until Javier Bardem lets in an elderly couple played by Ed Harris and Michelle Pfeiffer. At first, Jennifer Lawrence's character is a bit timid, and she just lets them in due to the fact that she doesn't really stand up for herself. But as more and more people come in and more crazy things start happening around the house, she gets more and more assertive, and you, the audience, begin to wonder if the weird things that she's seeing and if the crazy things that are going on really are going on in real life, or if they're just part of her tortured mind. But that's as far as I'll go as far as the story is concerned. Now, what this film does well is it really gets the tension down for a thriller, mainly because you know so little of most of the characters. Heck, you don't even know the poet and the young woman's names for the entirety of the film. Since you know so little going in and throughout most of it, it really has a wonderful anything can happen vibe when it comes to this film, especially when it comes to its deliberate pacing and its cinematography. You see, the majority of the film has over-the-shoulder camera shots of Jennifer Lawrence, and they really do work effectively considering that you're right there with her and you're wondering what's going to happen next. Is someone going to pop out at me, or is another person going into the house, or is something going to happen that's going to anger Javier Bardem's character? You don't really know what's going to happen until it does, because Aronofsky makes sure to show you only what you need to know, and they make sure to keep you right there with Jennifer Lawrence's character. Even though she's mainly an observer when it comes to all this crazy stuff going on. Also, the acting is very good. Jennifer Lawrence, of course, brings her A game in this role, as does Bardem. But Ed Harris, Michelle Pfeiffer, and the rest of the cast do bring in solid performances. The film absolutely looks great with, like I said, great cinematography, awesome lighting, and surprisingly good CGI to the point where it has limited usage, but when it's used, it actually does work pretty well with some of the trippy imagery and some of the more insane scenes. Now, when it comes to a general review, I never discuss the ending, mainly because I don't want to spoil anybody, but a lot of the crazy things that go on in this movie and a lot of the talking points are probably going to be about the ending. So, without spoiling anything, let's just say the ending of this film is so disturbing, filled with so many crazy images, and filled with so much suffering, pain, and downright disturbing implications and images that it's really going to make or break the film for you. On one hand, I admire Aronofsky for making a finale that's so out there that he's going to be noticed, no doubt, but sometimes there is a thin line between what you need to do to get noticed and what you need to do to get yourself into a mental hospital. And even though I don't think Aronofsky's insane, the fact that he was able to get away with a finale of this magnitude and still manage to keep an R rating after it was all said and done is honestly amazing to me, because out of all the films I've seen this year, this probably has the craziest, most over-the-top, completely insane, disturbing, and downright heinously, I should say, heinously entertaining endings in the history of cinema of this year. So overall, this is a film that has a lot of positives going in, but but you could say it maybe is too artsy and it could be too out there for you. Personally, I enjoyed it, but it's really going to be up to you to see whether this is the right kind of obscure for you or the wrong kind of obscure for you. I give Mother an 8 out of 10. See you next time.